Well, let's talk about Resident Evil. Is it good? Is it good? It is so good. It is so good. Now, one of my ratings for Netflix is it better than Stranger Things? And dare I say it is better than Stranger Things. I know that it doesn't have a great score on the Rotten Tomato meter, and I know that a lot of people are like, but for me, I adored it. I loved it. Loved the dualistic storylines. I was like, how do we get from here to here? For regular fans that love the mystery element, everything was checked off. Characters check, not from the video game franchise, but brand new characters, storylines, amazing, acting just on the ball, just moving forward, check. Characters that I can get behind, every single character, even the evil characters, I loved. The backstory, the storylines, and everything, and the way they interrelated with each other, wonderful. Loved it. Um, Classics, classic characters that have shown up in the video games, loved it. Check, check. Puzzles, stuff like that you're like, wait, what? Check. Resident Evil video game fans. They definitely gave the fans of the franchise everything that they wanted with a hints of more as to where the franchise is moving forward. Without giving away any spoilers, you definitely have to watch it even to the end. Would I have loved a little bit more? Yes, I think that it does. Yeah, I would love a little bit more Easter eggs, but at the same time, it does. Is it canon? That's one of the main questions. Is it canon within the franchise of the world? Yes. Is it canon within the movies? I don't know, but it's definitely canon within the world, that is happening. And then I believe the movies are also canon within the video games, so everything is canon together. And so I loved it. What ended up happening was that I ended up watching all the movies all over again, just because that revived that lust and that, for the franchise and that wonderful and the interconnections and the lessons and the teachings that come out of Resident Evil, you know. So I went back and I even dare I say it, I purchased the video game to play with friends. My video game playing days had tried to become scarce. But I did purchase it and we did play it and we did have fun. So it's, the remake of the Resident Evil original video game that they did, and it's a lot different. It's a lot different. It's been a while for me, so there's a lot of different things. So I really appreciated the journey of Resident Evil that this particular series brought me into. Would I love to see a season two? Please, I beg, I hunger, I desire a season two. Because of equality. I think because of bringing the character of Albert, playing with Albert Wesker, the gentleman that played Albert Wesker, wow, an absolute Emmy, absolute Emmy. He deserves an absolute Emmy for the performance that he did right there, the character that he played. The daughters, um, amazing, amazing relationship, amazing storylines that we can get behind. It was just a beautiful, the Wesker sisters. It was just like, what? Because, we know Wesker from this particular thing, and then we're thinking, wait, what? So, in the dualistic storylines of, I believe, 15 or maybe 30 years in the future, and then as the pandemic is starting to break out throughout the world, and what happens and how the world has transitioned, it's just absolute heaven. I am kind of disappointed that we only got 8 episodes. I was hoping for maybe 13, or maybe this was part one of a part two. And I know that it's got to be costly, and I know that they're putting a lot of chips on this bag. So, as the fans, as dare I say, people who aspire to have equality in the media space, I encourage you to check out the show. I really, really, really do. Because a lot of times I think that when we have inclusion, we have inclusion as you're included in our journey rather that you're not the star of our journey. And this particular black man who has 2 daughters, and he raises his own daughters in this climate situation. That's one of the main setting elements in it. It's just wonderful and beautiful, and I don't believe we've ever seen it before. And it may be a little jarring for some people. Also race bending Wesker. That may be jarring for a lot of people, but people who really appreciate and know the franchise know that things like that are possible. You know what I mean? So just all of those elements come into play. Let me know what you did. You watch the series? Are you watching the series? I'm watching it twice. I'm watching it once. I watched it once by myself, and I'm watching it a second time with the bestie. And dare I say it, I'm pretty open to watching it a third time because it is that good. I think it's one of the. I think when I look at Netflix, and first of all, I love the franchise, right? But when I look at Netflix, I think to myself, come on, Netflix, you gotten some punches. We really need to give you something that is like pow pow. That audience was like, okay, I ain't gonna unsubscribe because I'm gonna wait for Resident Evil season 2. So we need those kind of things, and I believe Netflix that was one of their things. That was one of their big guns. But I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I think maybe the fan base didn't get behind it. I think that maybe there wasn't enough publicity towards it. I think people were dubious about what people were saying. Some people were saying that they didn't like it. It's got a 26% on Rotten Tomato for 20 meter from the from the audience, and it's got a 50% from the people, from the judges, the ones that are the critics. But it's the highest rated from the franchise. It's twice as high, almost twice as high as the last movie. They're oftentimes in their 20s. And they're enjoyable. They're not the greatest movies, but they're a good little like popcorn, what's gonna happen kind of thing, They ain't gonna win no Oscars. Will this win an Emmy? Yes. This could win an Emmy, but you really gotta give it a chance, and you really gotta give minorities, people of color, different elements, the foreground in order to shine and inspire other individuals in their lives and show them different paths. What do you think? Did you watch Resident Evil? Do you love it? I adore it. I adore it, and I hunger for it. Am I gonna watch that weird movie that just came out where they're trying to reboot the franchise? Yes. I will. Will I review it? If you want me to, I will. But let me know what you think of Resident Evil. Please, please watch it. Please get an account on Rotten Tomatoes and make your voice heard. Thank you. I love you. I want to wish you a wonderful eternity.